I wouldn't be racing in Formula One. I wouldn't be fighting for a world championship if I didn't believe deep down that I could be not. But it's been a start that is needed in order to fight for a championship. That's consistency, that's strong results, that's a win every now and then, and that's what I managed to do. So not perfect, but something I'm so.
McLaren's dream season just hit turbulence. With Piastri leading and Norris chasing, team harmony is cracking. Podium smiles have turned into pit lane tension, and Zak Brown just confirmed the worst. Teammate clashes incoming. Is this a dynasty in the making or McLaren's next meltdown? F1's spiciest drama is brewing.
I don't think anyone was fully ready for this. Least of all, Lando Norris himself. I've said it before and I'll say it again, he's been looking at the wrong rival. His real rival is the guy on the other side of the garage looking back at him and just going, hello. I've warned this before. If McLaren mishandles their papaya rules, we could see a full-blown driver rebellion. Oscar and Lando asserting different weights of control and both wanting to claim McLaren as their team. Because
McLaren might be riding high on podiums and pace, but under the sleek orange bodywork, things are heating up fast, and not in a good way. With Oscar Piastri suddenly leading the championship and Lando Norris just 10 points behind, the garage atmosphere is shifting from team spirit to a silent war zone. Smiles are tighter, radio messages are shorter, and behind-the-scenes murmurs are turning into outright tension.
When you look at the two McLaren drivers right now, when you look at Oscar and you look at Lando, who is proving themselves to be the better driver in 2025?
I think you have to say Oscar, very much because of the stat you just read out. Of course, Lando Norris has 2 wins to Oscar's 5. But it's interesting because even so, they're separated by 10 points. And actually, if you look at the recent triple header, over the course of that, Lando Norris outscored Oscar Piastri. So it's not quite as one way as it seems when you look at just the win count.
If you had to put a bet on today, for who would win the World Drivers' Championship come the end of the year, who are you putting your money on today after the Monaco Grand Prix? We're a third of the way through the season.
Lando.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think the thing with Lando is I think if pound for pound, raw pace, driver talent, I think he's better than Oscar. But I think with Oscar, you get 9.5s out of 10 every week from Oscar Piastri. You don't, and Lando goes 10, 10, 10, 12, 4. Mm-hmm. And that I think is where he gets quite tricky. So I'm going to say Lando.
I like it.
Done.
Zak Brown didn't exactly ease the panic either, recently confirming what everyone feared. A teammate clash is no longer a hypothetical, it's inevitable. Remember when McLaren was the feel-good comeback story of Formula One? The underdog revival? Now it's looking more like a Shakespearean drama on wheels. Both drivers are hungry, fast, and ready to fight, but there's only room for one driver to lead the charge.
So I would have suggested that the team had a very long discussion. Okay, guys, we've got the front row. Whoever makes the best and the quickest move, do not challenge him into the first corner. And wherever he is on the road, make sure you block off any other area. So that was perfectly, and it was just magic the way it operated. Oscar did a perfect job, moved to the left, blocked off any move from Ferrari or anyone else. But then on the second thing, I think the team forgot about the second corner, where Oscar, for me, was just a magic overtake because no one was expecting it. And that's the difference. You know, it was just so clinical, so cool, so clean. And he made it through. You know, these are things that we've said. If Lando is going to be a worthy world champion, he's got to learn these.
And when two rising stars aim for the same crown, things get messy. The signs are everywhere. Cool down room body language colder than a Belgian GP. Media statements full of carefully chosen words and zero actual reassurance. Radio calls that sound like they're being delivered through clenched jaws. Strategic decisions suddenly raise eyebrows. Who's getting the favorable pit window? Who gets the new parts first? Everyone's watching and everyone's reading between the lines.
Team. because I can imagine that both of them are equally annoyed at the likes of Zach Brown and Andrea Stella of just dilly-dallying and letting their own paranoia about what could happen on the track get in the way of their own championship efforts. They're in this together in a way. And again, I'm really seeing Senna-Prost vibes here, because Lando built this team as it is right now, and he's managed to fend off some really notable names in the sport. It's almost like Prost versus Lauda, and we saw Norris with Ricciardo. But then in comes this new guy and starts to make their own claim, and you're not sure what to do. This time around, I wish to discuss the men more, not just the team side of things. I get why Lando may be feeling this way right now, that he might feel like he's being challenged, but right now, at this very moment, you feel like something is really going down.
Team meetings at Woking now resemble hostage negotiations. Engineers are terrified to show even a hint of favoritism. Pit stops feel like high-stakes games of roulette. One wrong call, and McLaren's carefully rebuilt empire could implode faster than a turbocharger under pressure. Meanwhile, rival teams are licking their lips. Red Bull, basking in their usual dominance, are treating this drama like premium pit lane entertainment. Mercedes, freshly back in the mix, is enjoying the chaos from a smug distance. Even Aston Martin and Alpine are calculating how many points they can steal while McLaren fights itself.
But I think Oscar Piastri, you just have so much more confidence in him going into a race weekend. We both picked him correctly, I would say, as our winner for the Spanish Grand Prix ahead of Lando Norris. And it's just so hard not to feel that way going into a race weekend. You have to almost trick yourself into thinking maybe this can be Lando's one, or you look for reasons why this could be Lando's weekend. Whereas Oscar, it's just that calmness. I think, that's the one trait that is perhaps most impressive in a 22-year-old, 23-year-old, certainly someone who's still very young, third season in the sport. That calmness, and then to be able to match that with consistent results is super impressive. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I struggle for anyone apart from maybe Lando's parents and his.
And let's not pretend the fans aren't having a field day. Twitter, or whatever Elon's calling it this week, is ablaze with memes of Norris and Piastri ready to square up like heavyweight fighters. Everyone's picking sides, and nobody's expecting a peaceful resolution. The danger is real. All it takes is one overtake gone wrong, one break a second too late, and McLaren's internal battle becomes an international incident. Constructors' points? Gone. Title hopes? Imploded. And worst of all, credibility? In the bin. One teammate crashes and every feel-good headline becomes a punchline. From rivals to wreckage practically writes itself.
What Lando has got is the pace over a single lap, which is why he usually qualifies better than Oscar. I think Lando is quicker. Oscar is the better racer.
Here's a couple of questions for you then. Has Oscar Piastri got quicker than last year?
Well, you don't really know.
Well, yes, he has. He was right behind Lando, and he would have overtook him if there wasn't team orders coming through telling him that he's got to not overtake whilst they're overtaking cars.
Maybe.
At the best part in the race, he was about to overtake him.
It's one thing the team saying don't overtake Lando, but then could he have? We don't know.
And yet, this tension might be exactly what fuels greatness. If, and that's a big if, McLaren can channel the competitive fire into pure performance, they could dominate the season. Controlled aggression, smart strategies, and mutual respect could make them the most fearsome duo on the grid. But that balance is delicate, and the window for harmony is closing fast. Upcoming races like Silverstone and Spa will be the real test. On iconic circuits where margins are razor thin, will the McLaren boys play nice, or will they throw down? Every lap, every corner, every pit call will be scrutinized. A perfectly clean double podium could restore order, but a wheel-to-wheel incident? That's a full-blown crisis.
We're looking at a Hamilton-Rosberg sort of fight.
I think Oscar in the moment has got the edge. In China, in my opinion, he showed that he's got the edge. All the time he was better.
Oscar performing as well as he did in the more normal conditions actually speaks more to what can happen in this season going forward.
Yes. If I would have to put money now on the world champion, I would put it on Oscar Piastri.
Oh, and, wow.
Yeah. When you saw him speaking after the pole position qualifying, he seemed to be pretty upbeat because normally he doesn't speak a lot. You could really see he's enjoying it. I think he wants more of it because he enjoyed that quite a bit, you know. So I think he's in a good position.
Lando Norris has just said in the pen that he thinks the Red Bull was the fastest car today. Do you agree with him?
No. I think our car was still quicker.
Zach Brown has thrown down the gauntlet. Now it's up to Norris and Piastri to decide. Battle for the championship like brothers in arms, or drag each other and the whole team into a McLaren civil war. The F1 world is watching, the cameras are rolling, and the next chapter could be legendary or disastrous. Whatever happens, one thing's certain. This is no longer just about speed. It's about control, discipline, ego, and legacy. And when two future world champions lock horns in matching cars, expect sparks, possibly literal ones. Buckle up. The McLaren saga is just getting started.